Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, y'all. You can call me Elle, and this is my perspective. Today, I would like to give you a little bit of the um, stuff this is that I learned and things like that from my time in Mexico, which was about a year and a half. That I'm using that information, that knowledge, those feelings to kind of guide me toward the next country that I want to go to. Okay, so the list this time is going to be a little small. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another video with more on it because there was a lot that I learned in Mexico. Of course, you're not gonna stay there that long, but like, I didn't learn anything. That's just not a thing. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the very first thing, this may not apply to some people, but to me it really did. So I travel alone. I'm fine to live alone, all those things. But being in Mexico for that amount of time, I do wish that I had more interaction from my family members. Toward the end, my mother did come to Mexico for about a month, as y'all know. And then before then, like we did trips or I did trips. And it would be to like visit family members in various places. So it wasn't just the United States. Y'all know that I did go to the United States, and then I went to the United States, and then I went to the Bahamas. And then like those things, those were also times where I was meeting up with family members and to interact with them. But even in those instances, in hindsight, they should have been longer, right? Because as long as I was by myself, and I am the kind of person that even in the United States, if I'm at home chilling, doing my thing, I'm not going to really go out and interact. Like I might interact online in the different groups that I'm already in, but I'm not going to so much go out. Like, right, my going out is to go shopping. And so I really miss the interactions that I would have with my own family members, which, even if I'm not living with my daughter, we would still see each other more than we did when I was living in Mexico. So keep that in mind, interpret it how you will. But there are times where if you are a solo traveler and you are in a country by yourself, that you may want to be around your own people, like people who know you more than you realize it. And to me, one of those visits, I want to say was less than a week. Another visit was it a week or was it a little over a week? But, those, they could have been longer in hindsight. They could have been longer. They could have done things where I'm actually just traveling, visiting, seeing things, eating the foods, and all that jazz. Like, yeah, yeah. Okay. So that was the first one. I do have a little list here, y'all. So also I want to put it in there. So moving forward, the country or countries, it's actually countries that I'm considering, I'm going to either see if someone else is willing to come with me or plan trips to come out to visit me, or just have it in my budget to go back to the United States to visit more often and for a little bit longer bout of time. I would say a month would be really good, like 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks would be good. A month is good. And then go back to whatever country that I have chosen to be in. So that's me. Okay. Um, the next one, food. Okay, yeah. I really dig me some food, right? And so with me, liking food, I'm gonna put these next two together, actually, food and walkability. So, I really do enjoy food and eating and all the things, but to be honest, and not to hurt nobody's feelings, if it does, y'all, my bad. But I did not enjoy the food that was specific to the Yucatan. I did not enjoy the food at all. Like I would have several people who were locals and they would be like, "Hey, have you tried the food?" And we would have the conversation about the food and I would ask them what's their favorite food, what's their favorite place to go to and all those things. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't like it. So, just keep those things in mind. For me, I'm definitely keeping it in mind. So for the countries that I have on my list, I do plan to go and visit first. And yeah, I'm going to be trying the foods. Remember for Mexico, I did not visit Mexico first. I had never been to Mexico before 2022. So from 2022 to 2024, I was in Mexico and I didn't I didn't like the local food. There would be places that I would go and try different foods, but they weren't specific to that region. And those foods, I was like, okay, I can do this, But as far as local to the region, I did not care for it. So that's the one thing. Now, when I went to Centro to when I went to like the market, which was in their downtown area, Central. When I went there, I would pick up the local foods, but they were all raw. It's their raw produce, and I enjoyed that. Like I can put my own spin on it, but I also like going out to eat. And yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I was running into some issues. Now the other thing is walkability. I did love that in the two places that I did live, they had a lot of walkable places. And so I was able to go and get my food. Like for the most part, it just depended on how I was feeling, but I could walk and get food for a couple of days, or I would walk and get food every day, right? So it's also a reason for me to get out of the house is because I gotta go walk and get food. But if I was just like, you know what, I'm tired of walking and it's hot and hot out here, then I would walk and get more than one day's worth of food. So I really did enjoy the walkability. Also, the walking in Mexico because I was walking. When you have me, I pick a route. And so when I was picking my route, I was like, ooh, let me go in here. Ooh, let me go in here. And so I found places that were local mom and pop shops. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna come in here. And so I would go to them. The least amount of time that I would go into them would be like once a week. Right. And so I really love that because in the United States, I really do like to support mom and pop joints, right? Because I mean, just think about it. You are an entrepreneur. You just choose to have your brick and mortar, but you're an entrepreneur. Like you do want support of the local people. Like you do want support of visitors. You want support of everybody, right? Because they're helping you stay in business. And so I really do prefer to support mom and pop businesses. I'm not saying that I don't go to the grocery store because I do, right? I go to the grocery store. I go to other places that are chains, but I really do love going to mom and pop shops. And I feel like walking allows me to spy them with my little eye better than if I was in an Uber and like trying to keep an eye on the map to be like, where are we going? And are we going to the right place? And all the things. Because sometimes them Ubers, they would get stuck in traffic and then charge me more money because they were stuck in traffic. And, there was one spot that they would come and try to pick me up, and there would be this long line for Starbucks. And so to get to where I was, they had to wait because the Starbucks line like went around. So they would have to wait for the Starbucks line to die down enough for them to be able to drive through to get to where I was. And a couple of times I was charged a wait time because they couldn't get to me because they were stuck through the Starbucks line. I'm like, did I take that off? But anyway, I don't know how I got on that. But walkability, I really do love the walkability. I love it for, just exercise, for me to get out of the house, for me to see new places. I was also able to see when they were building something new, not necessarily building something new, but opening up a new shop, right? It's already previously constructed, but they're changing it to something else. And so I was able to see that. And that happened a lot in Mexico. It happens a lot in the United States when you are driving and you're like, oh, what's that going to be? But to walk, you're more intimate with what's going on in your neighborhood. And so I really do like that. And so my spaces and places, countries that I'm looking at will have to be walkable as well, because I really do like that. And then to be walkable, I am hoping that they have a lot of mom and pop shops sprinkled throughout that I can go to and maybe even avoid a grocery store altogether and just do like mom and pop shops and, run into, the local market. The other thing, yeah, this is really big, but the other thing is that in Mexico, they had the market every day. In the United States, the most I can see a market in the spaces and places that I am is um, either on the weekends or the weekends and Wednesday. right? It's not an everyday thing. And so it's like, but I get it. I do get it, because a lot of the farmers are having to drive in, and they don't want to do their thing and drive in to where the marketplaces are. So, that is something that I really do want, is a market that is 7 days a week. I don't want to have to feel like I have to wait to get my food on the weekend or on a Wednesday if I want it from, farm fresh, or if I really do want to support a mom and pop over a grocery store. Some of them markets though, they really do. Come on, y'all. You can go up to them and they got their Dole boxes and Dole stuff that they getting the stuff out of. One of them even still has stickers on their stuff. And I'm like, I don't want your stuff. Like, you're not putting in this is me judging, but I feel like I want mine farm fresh, right? I want it from someone who I know did dig up their stuff and do it that way. And so you get to actually build the relationship with those people. It's a different energy from the ones who actually did the work, versus the ones who have the boxes with all the stickers and they're just dumping. Like, you can see them just dumping, like they don't care about the produce. Like, it's a difference. It's a difference. Go spy with your little eye, but it's a difference. And I also like, even with yeah, I like those things. So those are some of the things that I will be looking forward to. The weather, I'm cool if it's not going to be like Hamina hot every day. I will miss it because I really do enjoy feeding my melanin, right? I really do know. I really do enjoy the sun. But if I'm in a space that isn't as toasty, and I'm in a space that does happen to get cold, I will figure it out. I will figure it out because I know that I'm going to be willing to, be flexible. How about that? I'm willing to be flexible with some of the things on my list. But I really, even right now, I miss the heat of Mexico, of Merida, Mexico. Even when it was the summer in the United States, I missed the heat of Merida, Mexico. I acclimated very quickly. There were some days that were hot for me, but I acclimated very quickly. I tend to be someone who loves the heat over the cold. So it didn't bother me as much as it would probably bother other people. And yeah, so that's what I am working with. Like I said, I have narrowed my list down. Um, a few of the countries, a few of the countries are in Europe. They are European countries. And then I am going to be venturing out to a completely different continent to see what's up over there, which is why I was saying, if family, like for me, family is important for me to visit with them, to interact with them, to have someone who knows me because, I'm different or whatever the case is. I want to be able to interact with them. So if I'm going to be on one of these continents that are so far away, like it's going to have to be in my budget to go out there, or, also just to be open and flexible enough to be like, hey, I'm considering these countries. Are any of these countries a place that you would consider coming out to visit and feeling comfortable and feeling safe? And if it's like, oh, yeah, 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 cool, then, it is what it is. No one was anti-Mexico when I was in Mexico. So I do want to put that in there. No one was anti-Mexico. It's just that, in the time that I was there, the only person that came to visit me that was family was my mother. I did get a visit from somebody else, and that was great too. They were there for a while and we went and we really had fun. I'm just one of those people who, by myself, I'm probably not going to get out and do things. But when the other person came, like that's when, we did travel. We went to go see some of the ruins, the pyramids, we saw cenote, the different things. Like we went to go do all those things. I'm more prone to getting out there and doing stuff. We saw a metaphysical shop. We went to I believe that was a voodoo shop. um, all the different things. Like we just went and were exploring. I didn't do those things with my mother, but when other people are around, I will get out my little space bubble a little bit more. I'm okay. I love to live alone and I'm even okay to travel alone, but I really do love the company of someone else to go out and do things, if that makes sense. It does probably sound weird, but that's who I am. And so I have to, keep those things in mind for moving to other countries, even visiting other countries. Like if I'm visiting another country and I'm going to be there for 3 months, I might be, no, I wouldn't be okay for 3 months. I would still just hang out at the house and just do the local things, like things that are in my walking space, which is why walkability is really important to me. If it's in my little space and I can go and explore those places. But anything that's further, like even like I was saying for the Mayan ruins, the pyramids, those types of things, those were so far away that I was not going to go by myself. So I'm glad that, someone did come to visit me and we went and we explored and we did those things. So yeah, that's what I have for now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, yeah, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will chat with y'all later. Y'all have a great week and bye, y'all.